Ralphie May was more than just a comedian. He was a larger-than-life personality who broke barriers with his raw, unfiltered humor and unapologetic take on life's toughest topics. From his rise on Last Comic Standing to becoming a comedy legend, Ralphie tackled controversial issues with heart and hilarity, making audiences laugh while forcing them to think. But behind the jokes was a man battling personal struggles, pushing the boundaries of comedy, and changing the landscape of stand-up forever. Ralph Duran May was born on February 17, 1972, in Chattanooga, Tennessee. But his childhood was shaped by his upbringing in Clarksville, Arkansas. He was one of 4 children raised by his single mother after his parents' divorce, a challenging experience that would later inform much of his comedy. Ralphie's humor often touched on the struggles and complexities of growing up in a lower-middle-class, single-parent household, giving his material a raw authenticity that resonated with audiences. His love for comedy began early, and at the age of 17, Ralphie's life took a dramatic turn when he won a local contest to open for his comedic hero, the legendary Sam Kinison. Kinison, known for his brash, loud, and often outrageous style, saw potential in the young May. Not only did the opportunity validate Ralphie's comedic talents, but it also led to a pivotal piece of advice that would shape his career. Kinison encouraged Ralphie to move to Houston, Texas, a city with a vibrant comedy scene, to hone his craft and develop his unique style. Ralphie took this advice to heart. After graduating from the high school for the performing and visual arts, where he had already begun to sharpen his skills, he relocated to Houston. There, he immersed himself in the local comedy circuit, performing at clubs and open mics while studying the greats who came before him. His time in Houston was crucial to his growth, allowing him to experiment with the bold, edgy humor that would become his trademark.
All the comics I've ever admired, whether it be Kinison, Lenny Bruce, Buddy Hackett, or Richard Pryor, all share a commonality. They're a tour de force. When they speak, there's no room for rebuttal. They've thought it all out. Even the pros and cons of their argument, they raise openly and debate in the midst of their conversation, and it's a beautiful thing to watch.
2003 saw May catapulting into the comedy limelight when he was chosen to compete in the first season of the immensely popular TV show Last Comic Standing. Although he came in second after Dat Fan, viewers couldn't get enough of his unapologetic style and humorous observations. May took the stand-up comedy circuit by storm, appearing on The Man Show, MTV's Bash, and guest starring on NBC's Whoopi. He also appeared 4 times on CBS's The Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn, as well as an astounding 11 times on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and was one of only a handful of comedians to have received a standing ovation on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Behind the scenes, he worked as a writer and producer on ESPN's More Sports, starring Jay Moore. In 2005, May brought his brash comedy to video, releasing his first DVD Just Correct, followed by Girth of a Nation in 2006, Prime Cut in 2007, Ostentatious, 2008, and Too Big to Ignore, 2012, as well as 2 Netflix specials titled Imperfectly Yours, 2013, and Unruly, 2015. He appeared on the big screen in 2002's For the Love of Money, and later in 2012 he performed live at The Gathering of the Juggalos. May also holds the distinction of being the only white comedian on The Big Black Show, featuring Monique, Dennis Rodman, and Vince Morris. A large portion of May's humor stemmed from his battle with being overweight, which at one point reached over 800 pounds. A car accident at age 16 left May with over 42 broken bones and would lead to debilitating back pain that would affect him for the rest of his life. In 2006, May decided to undergo gastric bypass surgery, stating that his goal weight was 250 pounds, enabling him to buy clothes at the mall. May also participated on the 2005 season of the TV show Celebrity Fit Club, going on to lose 27 pounds and 5.6% of his body weight. Even though he ended the season with one of the least amount of weight lost in the show's history, May was determined to keep the momentum going. Appearing in the Opie and Anthony show on January 9, 2008, May announced that he was down to 392 pounds, having lost more than 400 pounds and was trying to lose even more. Poking fun of himself on a 2021 Facebook post, May stated,
"I have low testosterone. I make the perfect amount for a man of 180 pounds, but I passed at nearly 300 pounds ago. I also have a thyroid imbalance."
May was riding high on his newfound celebrity status as a well-known and well-loved comedian, accomplishing a level that he had once only dreamed of. And his partner, fellow comedian Lana Turner, was by his side through most of it. Making it official on July 3, 2005, the couple took their love and their comedy routines on the road. As they performed stand-up across the US, as well as collaborating on the podcast Perfect 10, their fans embraced their openness and felt a kindred spirit with both. September 5, 2007, the couple welcomed their first child, daughter April June May, with son August James May coming almost 2 years later, on June 24, 2009 in Nashville, Tennessee. While their hectic tour schedule worked when the children were younger, it soon became clear that they needed a more stable, structured environment that traveling constantly couldn't bring. Turner settled into a more relaxed life in Nashville, leaving May to headline alone while on tour, which was most of the time, due to his extreme popularity. May stated during an interview at the time,
"If I could find something else that would pay as much, or a quarter as much, as what I'm doing now, I'd do it in a heartbeat, just so I could sleep in my bed next to my wife and hug and kiss my babies and see them every day."
By now, May was voted one of Variety's 10 comics to watch, and was regularly selling out 3,000-seat shows, thanks to his unapologetic point of view and connection to his diverse audience. His spin on society's hypocrisies, touchy topics and light-hearted ethnic jokes came from his own observations in life, and he was lovable enough to get away with it. May had won the hearts of millions through his brash, often raunchy act, and his ability to poke fun at himself and his weight. He stated in an interview at the time saying,
"My audience has accepted me for a long time as, not a fat comedian, but a comedian who happens to be fat. That's a huge difference. I am a politically incorrect, racially insensitive, culturally controversial comic, but at least I'm self-aware."
May kept an exhausting tour schedule that left him feeling pressure to perform, even when his body was telling him to slow down. A bout of viral pneumonia in October 2011 caused him to lose 40 pounds, and a pulmonary embolism a month later was nearly fatal, when a blood clot in his leg became lodged in an artery. May's mental health was also starting to decline, leaving him to turn to drugs to try and cope. As a result, his marriage, once full of happiness and camaraderie, was now stressed, leaving Turner no choice but to file for divorce in 2015. According to court documents, Turner cited irreconcilable differences between the couple, claiming that her husband was sexually abusive and suffered from depression that often led him to wanting to take his own life. She also claimed his drug use was out of control, making it unsafe for him to be around their children. After a judge in the case partially granted a restraining order against May, he began to address the behaviors in his life that threatened to ruin everything he held dear. During an interview on Pop Goes the News in 2016, May projected a newfound optimism about his life and the direction it was taking, stating,
"I'm doing fantastic. I'm as good as it gets. I'm actually losing weight for a change. I'm happy for a change. I'm not miserable. Except for marijuana, I'm substance-free, which, for me, is awesome. My anxiety is being handled without Xanax or benzodiazepines also."
May had overcome numerous hurdles on his ride to comedic fame, but never lost his humble view of growing up poor in Clarksville. Speaking to the Arkansas Times, he said,
"It was a hard life growing up, It was a similar story to a lot of people in Arkansas. My mom was a florist. I'm the youngest of four. My father and mother hated each other, and they took it out on us. She'd sue him for not paying child support. Then he didn't pay, and that ended up costing us a lot. Thank goodness for my grandmother. She was a hell of a woman. She was really beneficial. She kept us in a stature way above our means and made sure we were taken care of as far as clean clothes and shoes. She taught me how to crochet and how to quilt. And that's kind of how I do an act. I have one-liners. I have dirty jokes. But I also have long stories that are 10 or 20 minutes long. And the laughs come every 8 seconds. It's a different kind of set. And it's a different life than most people have led.
In another interview in 2014, May told the Charlotte Observer that he had another aspiration, having achieved his dreams of being a famous comedian.
I'd like to be a U.S. Senator from Tennessee. I'm not crooked, and I really want to help people.
In 2017, May was on the last leg of his biggest nationwide stand-up tour to date, with live events coming up in Huntsville, Alabama, Mansfield, Ohio, and Nashville, Tennessee. May had a grinding schedule ahead for sure. May had been battling a serious case of pneumonia for weeks and was forced to cancel several shows at Harrah's in Las Vegas because of it. Pushing through, he wrapped up his final show around midnight, where he had just won the Casino Comedian of the Year award at the Global Gaming Expo, and headed backstage for a meet and greet with fans. May's health quickly deteriorated further. On October 6, 2017, at a private residence in Las Vegas, May went into cardiac arrest and passed away. Ralphie May was just 45 years old. According to Clark County coroner John Fudenberg, May's cause of death was due to hypertensive cardiovascular disease, brought on by high blood pressure. Due to May passing before his divorce with Alana Turner became final, it was never finalized, leaving Turner the sole parent to the couple's children and estate holder to his property, as directed in his last will and testament. Turner posted a heartfelt tribute to May on an Instagram post with a photo of the two saying, "I selected this photo because Ralphie looks like an angel with a halo. I loved Ralphie with all my heart. We shared a wonderful life and made beautiful children together. No one has ever made me laugh or cry harder. You will always be with us. Rest in peace, my sweet." Ralphie was laid to rest at Oakland Memorial Cemetery in Clarksville, Arkansas. In addition to his children, his other survivors include his mother, Sue Ann May, two sisters, Camilla May and Melanie Adamski, a brother, Winston, his stepmother, Gail May, a half-sister, Carrie Mayazell, and a stepbrother, Gary Gilly. His memoir, This Might Get a Little Heavy, was published posthumously in December 2017. Thanks so much for tuning into today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe to catch every episode where we dive into the celebrity afterlife.